Hi, I'm Mario Mendes and you are watching Just Listen. Album Voices was recorded in Tokyo in 1971 and released by Sony Records. At that time, Gary Peacock spent 2.5 years in Japan getting him back on the right path after lots of drugs and alcohol in the late 1960s. There is a contemplative quality to the music on this album, with empty space used to give time for thoughts to develop. I couldn't find exact composer information for the 6 tracks on the album, but I assume it was all written by Gary Peacock. Though Peacock is the main voice on the album, the highest praises go to all 3 Japanese musicians accompanying him. They have put stellar performances, and without them this could have ended up like another boring bass extravaganza. Throughout the album you will be treated with some really low notes from Peacock's bass, like 30 Hz or so. Most of us know Gary Peacock mainly from his numerous albums, excellent albums as a part of Kid Jerry Trio. So this younger, stronger, more adventurous side of Peacock can come as a surprise. The recording quality left nothing to be desired. Sound is similar to famous Three Blind Mice Japanese recordings in the 70s. From thundering deep bass notes all the way to the airy cymbals, everything sounds so immediate, fast, live sounding with great dynamics. For Kenichi Handa, the recording engineer for Sony, there are 35 other recordings made by him listed on Discogs, many classical, so you may check him out for great sounding albums. Of course, most of the ideas come from Peacock himself, but he has immense help from Masabumi Kikuchi, stellar Japanese pianist that played with likes of Gil Evans, Elvin Jones, Joe Henderson and Paul Motian. He has other recordings with Peacock as well. On voices, he also plays electric piano. Unfortunately, Masabumi Kikuchi passed away in 2015. I found interesting his recollection of the events toward the end of the Second World War in Japan. He was only 4 years old at the time. The B-29 came over twice to Tokyo. The first one was daytime, I think, so we ran away. And then the second time, about a couple of weeks later, they came during nighttime. It was so scary, so terrible. They dropped napalm bombs and it was burning everywhere. I ran away by myself and couldn't find my parents. The next day everything was burning as far as you could see. We were all pretty far from Ginza, but we could still see it because everything was all burned. You could see it through the burned fields and destroyed buildings. And everyone had to wait in long lines for some rice soup. Later there was no rice, only soup. Then we heard they bombed Hiroshima with some kind of new type of bomb and that it was very dangerous. So we moved to northern Japan where my parents were born. They say that the double bass is really hard for all the players to keep up with it, due to requirements for physical maneuverability and strength. Sadly, Gary Peacock died at the age of 85 in September 2020. Album Voices is not available at streaming platforms, so I can't put a link to it. Beside vinyl, it was issued as a CD and essay CD. Try to find it. It is a magnificent achievement that can be listened to many times, revealing more and more of its qualities over time. Thank you for watching.